So what's up everyone? Welcome to the new video. This video is titled, Can I Be an Outlaw Biker? So let's get into it. Okay, so I get a lot of people that are always riding in. They're fanatics about, they just got their bike or they've been riding for so long that their dream has always been to be an outlaw biker. Now, there is nothing at all wrong with wanting to join an outlaw motorcycle club. You got the big five, or even, as I call them, Big Ten. Some storied MCs that have really been around a long time, and they prove what brotherhood is really about. Now, there is some questions that you might want to ask yourself, especially if you're independent right now. As the video rolls, you'll see it. This is a picture of Sturgis, actually, and you see it's a big old rally. So you got to ask yourself one of the first questions: is your independence worth a lot to you? Because when you join a club, it don't even have to be a motorcycle club. Your independence is totally gone. I guess that leads us to the question, what are you expecting when you join an outlaw motorcycle club? Is it because you want to wear a patch? You want citizens to look at you different? There has to be a reason behind it. And that reason is going to tell you if you're going to succeed or not. Some other questions you got to ask yourself is your financial stability. Being an outlaw biker is pretty expensive, especially if you join one of the bigger clubs. Money, money, money. We're not only talking about dues that can go anywhere between $300 to $400 a month, depending on the clubhouse, because hey, somebody's got to pay that rent or somebody's got to pay that mortgage. It's just the way the game works. All the members have to pitch in. Everything's equal. And yes, most of the time, even as a prospect, you have to pay dues. It starts from the minute you throw that on. Now, there's hang-around periods. Most clubs ain't going to charge you, for your hang-around period. But yeah, you're going to do a little work here and there. But once you put that prospect patch on, you are starting to pay some money. Now, I know with the bigger clubs, yeah, there's a lot of travel involved. So how much money are you going to have to put into travel? You're going to have to put a lot into traveling. We're talking anywhere between, it'd easily get $1,000, $9,000 a year with your travel, depending on the size of the club that you're in. Yeah. And then you're talking about funerals, stuff like that. I can remember when I was with a support club, man. We're talking funerals, we're talking travel. Man, I was doing nothing but putting out money. I was like, holy cow. So this is another thing that you really got to think about before you join a club or hanging around a club, especially in OMG. And the next thing you got to worry about is your family. Do you got people that are actually going to support you in this venture? Yeah, if you do not have the backup of, say, your wife, your old lady, or even kids, you're going to have a hell of a time in an OMG. Hell of a time, because basically that OMG becomes your family. And sometimes, depending on the OMG, we are talking that OMG or that motorcycle clubs comes before your family. So, say you got a kid's graduation, you got a kid's birthday party, and you're called, well, guess what? You are going to be stuck choosing between either the motorcycle club or you're going to have to choose your family. Now, a lot of people out there say, well, it's a motorcycle club, I'm going to, choose my family. Well, if that's the case, then you're not really cut out to be a member of an outlaw motorcycle club. Now, another question we get is, and I know why I got the question is, can you be an outlaw biker without being involved in an outlaw motorcycle club? Well, you got to think about the premise of what outlaw actually means. Outlaw means living out the of society's norms and stuff. But a true outlaw gets out there, does his thing, hustles, and all that good stuff. So when you hear people talking about outlaw bikers, I guess theoretically there could be, but I really don't see that point. Others maybe do, but I don't. But let's get back into the if you can be an outlaw biker in an outlaw motorcycle club. There is so much you got to think about before getting in one of these clubs. Again, you got your family, you got money, and now let's talk about job. Even, I know a lot of clubs that say, well, family, job, then club. That is not reality whatsoever. And, some people are lucky enough to own their own businesses where they can be around the club more, but people got to work. Now, you got to take, your job into consideration. Does your employer let you be involved with clubs? I know over the last couple years, there's been a lot of stuff going down in Florida where some firefighters got into the OMGs, which, hey, I don't mind. But their fire department personnel, their chiefs, all that stuff do mind. So does your job have anything against you being involved with the club? Now, it don't only have to do with fire departments or, it could be a factory worker or a welder or something like that. Maybe you got somebody who's all uptight that owns a business and don't want you around that kind of stuff, or don't want the blowback if something happens in that area coming back on their business. Again, you got to think about that. Most importantly, you got to start thinking about your time that you're going to be able to put in. Now, if you're only going to be a 50% effort put into a club, well, you don't belong in any type of club. But I can tell you, with outlaw biker clubs, you are going to be putting 100% of your time in. If you don't like it, then don't join. The best thing I can tell you is go through a hang-around period. Hang around the guys for maybe, a year or so. Get to know them. Get to know the routine, get to see if they're doing, how much the travel's involved, how much, as far as the funerals, the money you see being spent. This is going to be actually a good way for you to gauge if you can make it or not. Because once you get to the prospect period, then you're kind of, you're more than dipping your toe into the scene. Because that's basically what you're doing is when you're hanging around, you're dipping the toe. When you go into the prospect period, you're actually going in with 1 foot into the water. And next thing you know, you're a member, you got both feet in there, and you are committed at that point. Personally, I think, if you're going to join an OMG stuff, I think your process of joining that club should be at least 2 years. This enables you to be able to know if you're going to make it or not. But again, it goes all the way back to why do you want to be in an OMG in the first place? Now, I get it. TV, glamorizes the lifestyle. Or you might hear friends talking about, hey, we got this many chicks, or, the public looks at us this way. But there's also the bad side of that type of stuff. Every time you go to an OMG party, especially if they're one of the well-known 1%er ones, you're going to have more pictures of yourself taken than you have of yourself in a photo album. You're going to have feds, you're going to have local state gang units looking at you, and this is just a fact of life. It don't even matter if you're a support club, it don't matter if you're a 99%er club, if you're just going to support a 1%er club, you will get taken pictures of. Let me tell you, you will. It will happen. You'll see them going around, gather the intelligence, writing your plate numbers down. They will know everything about you the minute you start hanging around or attend. And this is even for supporters. You attend an outlaw party, an OMG party of any of the 1%er clubs, you're going to get tagged. Also, you got to get, and I talk about a lot of this all the freaking time, motorcycle profiling. Yes, you will get profiled. You will get profiled the minute you throw on a prospect patch or a regular membership patch. So that's another consideration you got to take in before you join an Outlaw Motorcycle Club, putting on that 1% diamond. Now, the 1% diamond, it's really, sad to say, but a lot of clubs now are just throwing them on, and it's losing a lot of its meaning. Not to say that, the bigger clubs, don't go with it, but it is getting kind of watered down. But these are just some of the things you might want to think about before you want to go join an OMG. In the old days, it used to be said, well, you got two choices, either prison or you're going to go to the grave, because that's how hardcore it was back then. Nowadays, it ain't so much, but yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that happens within the club scene. Do you want to be watching over your back all the time? Another question. So you might want to go through your pros and cons of seeing if this is the lifestyle you really want. Talk to people, learn about it. Don't make any rash decisions. Stay away from clubs that are 1% diamonds that just pop up and, you'd never heard of them. Those clubs are usually going to get shut down because, quite frankly, when it does come to protocol, I do understand when a club puts on a 1% patch, then you're in the game. The other stuff with the other clubs, I really, I think that's more out there. But 1%er clubs, yeah, I completely agree. Hey, if you haven't been around or you haven't put in the work or got your respect, yeah, you're going to get hit. So remember that before joining. It's just not all glory when it comes to a motorcycle club. It's work, and especially in OMG, it is dedication. So with that, let me know your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Go visit us over at HarleyLiberty.com. I'll talk to you later.